Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thomas Reel. I graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi with a bachelor's degree in nutrition and dietetics. Yes, that's right. Go Golden Eagles. I am currently working on my master's degree in nutrition and dietetics through Southern Mississippi as well. Today, I want to open your mind to what might be a scary and concerning statistic in our children here in the United States today: obesity. Did you know in the United States the prevalence of obesity in children and adolescents has risen from 8% in 1990 to 20% in 2022? Did you also know that in 1990 just 2% of children were obese, while in 2022 that rate has quadrupled in children to 8%? Now, many of you may be wondering, what is obesity? Well, obesity is a chronic complex disease defined by excessive fat that can impair health and is diagnosed by using a calculation of BMI. It is typically defined by a body mass index, or BMI, of 30 or higher. Using the BMI formula is very simple. First, you want to take a person's weight in kilograms and their height in meters. Once you have both of these measurements, you want to divide the weight by the height squared. This calculation will provide an accurate measurement of your or someone else's BMI. Now, there are multiple contributing factors towards obesity: a calorie imbalance, where you may be consuming more calories than you are burning, or a sedentary lifestyle, having a lack of physical activity, and a major factor that we are seeing today in our children is a poor diet. Well, children are consuming high-calorie but nutrient-poor foods. When we take someone that has obesity, they're at an increased risk of multiple different serious health problems. These health problems can be heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, gallbladder disease, and multiple different types of cancer. Before I go any further, I want to show you a chart that can be used to provide a BMI in children. This picture before you is a BMI chart for children. We can see at the top the weight in pounds, and on the left, height in inches. And what is happening in the middle with all the colors? The colors are indicating the BMI of a certain child. And at the bottom, we can see each different representation of BMI status, ranging from severely underweight to severely obese. Now, if we took a child that was 40 pounds and was 34 inches tall, what category would they fit into? Well, we can see that they would fit into the optimal category, shown by the red outline here. Now, you might be thinking, awesome, we know what obesity is, we know how to calculate BMI, how to use this chart for children, but why are the obesity rates increasing in our children? Well, first, I want to start by showing you a couple of photos and hopefully getting your responses. And trust me, there will not be a quiz at the end, so do not worry if you get the wrong answer. Does anyone happen to know what company this is? I'll give you a second to answer. That's right, this is the McDonald's logo. Trust me, this next one is going to be way harder. Does anyone know what brand of bread this is? Yeah, that's right, Bunny White bread. Now, this next image, I just want whoever to start blaring out whatever food items you see. Trust me, no wrong answers here. What do you see in this image? Yes, that's right. I heard someone say broccoli, blueberries, strawberries, kale, avocado, grapefruit. Now, what is this? Well, we can see that this is a collection of fruits and vegetables. This will be important later on. I asked if you knew this logo, and most people would know McDonald's because it is one of the largest fast food chains in the entire world, with 41,822 restaurants open in 2023. And in 1990, the number of McDonald's in the United States was around 10,000, but only increased to approximately 13,500 in 2024. These locations only increased around 4,000 in the last 30 years. This does not seem like that many, but we are seeing a much larger obesity rate than in 1990. A recent study on fast food consumption and obesity prevalence in students discussed the percentage of caloric intake from fast food has increased 5 times since 1990, with around 30% of our children consuming fast food daily. Fast food consumption has been increasing due to its cost, convenience, and taste. While fast food may be convenient, it is higher in calories, unhealthy fats, sodium, and a decrease in vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Whereas in a home-cooked meal, you might be able to reduce the calories, fats, and sodium, while also receiving a greater intake of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Now, everyone knows what a Happy Meal is. It is a dream as a child to receive one of these covenant items from McDonald's. These meals are targeted towards children and usually come with a hamburger, cheeseburger, or chicken nuggets with French fries, apple slices, and a drink. Oh man, that sounds so good, doesn't it? Now, does anyone happen to know the calories in a 6-piece chicken Happy Meal? For those who may be stuck on this question, it is about 475 calories. Remember when we were discussing major factors contributing towards obesity? One being consuming high-calorie foods but that are nutrient deficient? Fast food fits right into this category, with a 6-piece Happy Meal containing 23% of daily value, or DV, of saturated fats, 17% DV of cholesterol, and only 1 gram of fiber, with 14 grams of sugar. Now, I bet you're sitting there thinking, man, this Happy Meal doesn't seem too good anymore. Now, these types of foods do not stop at fast food restaurants. Ultra-processed foods have been making their way into our grocery stores. Ultra-processed foods have common ingredients in the food manufacturing industry, such as hydrogenated oils, high-fructose corn syrup, flavoring agents, and emulsifiers. These foods are often cheaper than whole foods, but they are usually higher in calories, salt, sugar, and fat. Another study was conducted between 2 different groups of people, one eating ultra-processed foods and the other consuming minimally processed foods. Both of these groups had 3 meals a day prepared for them and lasted for a 28-day period. Now, after the 28-day period, the research team found something very interesting. The group that had the ultra-processed meal actually ate their meals twice as fast as the minimally processed food group. It was also shown that in the 28-day period, the ultra-processed group gained 2 pounds, while the other group lost 2 pounds in the same time period. Now, these 2 pictures were provided from this study. What difference can we see between these 2 meals? Well, at first glance, we can see the minimally processed meal on the right has a greater quantity of food. What about the one on the left? You see, it doesn't have as much food. There's little to no color. Now, there is 2 major food items missing from the one on the left. And I just want you to yell it out for me as loud as you can. What is missing? That is right. You hit the nail right on the head. Fruits and vegetables. Today, we are seeing less than 50% of children consuming fruits on a daily basis, and less than 12% consuming vegetables. Why might this trend be happening in our children? Well, this trend can be analyzed from the standpoint of price increases over the last 3 decades. In 1990, the average price of bananas per pound was 40 cents. That price has doubled to 80 cents in 2025. Many of you may be wondering why an increase of only 40 cents is a major price increase. For you and many others, they may not have an issue with higher priced whole foods. But what about people living paycheck to paycheck? Or single mothers, or single fathers working 2 jobs just to put food on the table? Or children who go hungry to school and only have 1 meal a day that is provided from the school? Low and no income families are at the highest risk of obesity. These families are facing higher risk compared to higher income families due to the factors like limited access to healthy foods, and rely on cheap, ultra-processed foods just to feed their families. These prices for whole foods have been steadily increasing over the last 3 decades, with a family of 4 spending an average of $128 a week on groceries in 1990. And while today, the average weekly food cost for a family of 4 is $270 to $440 a week. This monthly average has doubled since 1990 and has caused many families to buy cheaper processed foods over whole foods. Now, I could stand up here and tell you to stop eating fast food and eat more whole foods, but I want to dive into a topic that will help decrease whole food prices, increase whole food variety at grocery stores, and provide assistance to people in need of nutritional support. I can see everyone is on the edge of their seats. I can just see it. This is the Farm Bill and government food aid. The Farm Bill has a large impact on farming in the United States. How the food is grown, what kinds of food are grown. This bill keeps food prices fair for farmers and consumers, ensuring that an adequate food supply, and helps protect our country's natural resources. And while a new farm bill was signed into law on December 21st, 2024, and is currently called the American Relief Act. A large amount of funding is for farm loans for farmers to start and improve and expand the American farms. Does anyone happen to know the number of farmers in the United States in 1990 compared to today? Well, in 1990, there were an estimated 2.14 million farms in the United States. This number is steadily decreasing each year, and now there are only 1.8 million farms in the United States today. With fewer farmers, less whole foods are grown in the United States, causing an issue of high-priced whole foods having limited stock in the United States, and stores having to purchase genetically modified whole foods that last longer to be delivered to the United States. With the assistance of the Farm Bill for farmers, we will see an exponential growth over time of whole foods being grown in the United States. With more whole foods being grown, we will see a decrease of prices over time, since there is not a limited supply and the product having to travel hundreds of thousands of miles. Now, the assistance does not stop at growing greater amounts of whole food in the United States, but also helping people who are not able to afford whole foods and rely on ultra-processed foods. Remember discussing low and no-income families living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to provide whole foods to their children. Nearly 81% of the total Farm Bill spending is on the SNAP program, or the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. The SNAP program provides food purchasing assistance for low and no income people to help maintain proper nutrition and health. With rising food prices, many people with low income are not able to afford the bare minimum fruits and vegetables, having to settle for cheap processed foods. With the assistance from SNAP, people in need of nutritional support are able to buy whole foods and provide a healthier dietary lifestyle for their families and children. I want to thank you for coming and listening to my presentation. And remember, together we can change the rising obesity rate in our children through greater whole food production in the United States and providing assistance to people in need of purchasing whole food options like fruits and vegetables. I want to thank you again, and good night.